Imagine you've just woken up after a storm, your AC is off, your refrigerator is off, you have no internet, and your cell phone is down. Do you know if your generator would start? Do you know if you have enough gas? Do you have extra spark plugs? Or even oil when you need to inevitably change the oil in the generator? Well, these are all lessons that I learned the hard way living in Southeast Louisiana during hurricane season. During Hurricane Ida in 2021, I was a relatively new infant dad. We lost power, we lost internet, and we lost cell phone. And I was completely unprepared. A couple days in, we got cell service back, and I was able to see that my estimated time before I was gonna get power back was 21 days. So we quickly loaded up in the car, took off to the closest big box store and bought the biggest generator that we could find. And that was actually the start of all the headaches of me learning all of these lessons. So what about gasoline? The local gas stations had lines between 4 and 8 hours, and they were limiting you to 5 gallons of gas in those initial few days. I don't know about you, but most generators are not gonna go very far on 5 gallons, probably a day at most, and we had to survive for 21 days. Also, there's just the expense itself of constantly putting gas into the generator and then needing to venture out to get gas every so often and be around pretty distressed people and you being distressed yourself. But here is a solution I'd wish I'd known about a lot sooner. This is where the Anker SOLIX F3000 with expansion battery comes into play. I recently did a video on the F3000, Anker saw it, and they sent me out this expansion battery. I'm gonna review the lessons I've learned living through natural disasters and how I've changed my mind on solar generators. So now, if you are limited to those same 5 gallons of gas, you could intermittently use your generator to charge the F3000 to get you through a few days until those supply chains stabilize and you can get much more gasoline. Because it only takes a little over 1 hour to charge the F3000. So you could charge this thing a handful of times on that same 5 gallons of gas. In addition to everything I've already mentioned, I also learned some hard lessons with generators, and the biggest one being, once you have it, are you maintaining it? That is the beauty of the F3000. You can just charge the thing up to 100% and just leave it. You obviously can't bring a gas generator inside because you have all those hazards associated with it, and the F3000 can just quietly sit and power everything silently inside of your house. Now, I touched on this in the other video, but something else to consider with generators is that they're very noisy. At least the ones that I have are. And that might be something that you want to think about ahead of time. So now I'm thinking along the lines of, I don't have to worry about any maintenance, bad gas, spark plugs, or anything like that. It is totally hassle-free. Just make sure it's charged or charge it up with the generator once it dies. So as I mentioned, you can use the F3000 immediately, and then once the weather clears, you could go out, start that generator up, and you could recharge the F3000. You can also charge it with a generator and solar at the same time, getting up to 6,000 watts of charging. Or you could just use the generator, which will get to 3,600 watts. Or if you have enough solar panels, you could just do solar and it can charge at 2,400 watts. So with this expansion battery, I can charge a window unit that would keep my room nice and cool at nighttime, or a fridge and some fans or something like that. And it would do that silently so I don't have to worry about that generator noise at nighttime. You can also get multiple expansion batteries to get even longer run times. And one of the best things about this F3000 that I've noticed is that it has an incredibly low idle burn rate. So you can just keep it on, ready, plug things into it, and it's not gonna just die by sitting there on. Of course, you can turn it off and it'll last pretty much forever, but if it's on, it has a very low idle burn rate. For example, if you're powering a fridge, I was able to get upwards of 5 days with the F3000 and the expansion battery. Because it has such a low idle burn rate, like your fridge, it kicks on and off. And during the time when it's off, it essentially is losing no charge. And then the compressor kicks on and then it's pulling down on some of that battery. So that is a really nice feature of the F3000. Now, I haven't really touched on the app at all at this point, but there are 2 features that I want to highlight to you. One is that if you have the generator going during the day to charge up the F3000, you can set up a notification so it'll say, hey, I'm full, and you can go and unplug it so you're not unnecessarily burning fuel on that generator, or let the generator power something else. The other is that there is this intelligent backup mode that activates when extreme weather is approaching, which helps users stay fully prepared. I also really like that this is a modular system, so it's not this massive investment up front. You can start with one F3000, get the expansion batteries. You can even add a second F3000 to increase the output and the overall capacity. So you can take your output from 3600 watts all the way up to 7200 watts at 240 volts. Then you could look into getting a transfer switch, hooking this into your house, and then powering essentially your entire home off of it. What do you think? Ready to upgrade? Think through everything that I just went through and learn from my experiences with a natural disaster. I think that the marriage between the F3000 and a gas generator makes a ton of sense, and you should definitely consider it because it is a great option to get you through tough times. Of course, links to everything will be in the description below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, especially if you made it this far. I know you've got zillions of options on YouTube that you could be watching, and you chose this video, and it is greatly appreciated. As always, don't forget to thumbs me up, and we will see you next time.